Now, very quickly, the first thing you need to do is establish a spiritual foundation. I personally am a born-again Christian. You have a right in America to choose your own religion, thank God. And I'm so glad that we have that freedom, and you choose as you wish. But you establish a spiritual foundation, and mine is the blood of Jesus Christ. And through the cross of Calvary, I know that I'm safe regardless of what takes place in this life. Establish that foundation in Jesus Christ, and be sure that you're not on sinking sand, but you're on the solid rock. And when you are, no matter what takes place to the dollar, or whether you gain or lose, matters not, you still will have peace, and your family will still be secure, and your husband and wife will still be together. Secondly, you have everything you need over here in this exhibit hall. Buy them out. I don't make a penny off you saying that, my saying this. Believe me. Go over there and buy them out. You may not be able to do it 6 months from now. Listen and watch carefully. Gold and the dollar and oil are all tied together. Listen carefully to their buzzwords. And then I waited until last to make my offer, because I didn't want you to think that I was up here just trying to push something. And here is my offer to you. Over in the exhibit hall, I have 6 DVDs, 6 hours of viewing. Did you know that one of the things that they're using in order to nullify the mind of the average American, so that all they want to do is have their baseball and apple pie and sit behind their television set? Did you know one of the things that they're using to do this with is the cell telephone? I do not have the time here to give that. I've only got 10 minutes left. But please, there's a DVD over there that will show you what electromagnetic radiation is doing to you. And someone asked me the other day, why can't we wake America up? Why do the Americans not get off of their duff and do something about it? Why can we talk to our relatives and friends and they think we are left-wing wackos when we try to tell them the truth? I said the reason is because they have been intentionally deadened in their minds to the point that they cannot comprehend. And I would like to tell you the methods they've used to do it. You'll be amazed at what they've done. They've done it from vaccinations to the cell telephone to other things. I beg of you, learn the issues and the facts. I've not used a cell telephone in over 3 years. I would not put one up to my ear for anything. If I see someone beside me using it, I move away. It is causing problems. There is a way that you can keep that cell phone from harming you. I beg of you, learn the issues now. And one of the DVDs I have on my table will tell you the effects, what it's doing, and how you can do about it. Another DVD is the lecture I've given today. One person looked at my videotape on my DVD entitled Torn from the Land the other day, and they called me on the phone and said, I've just watched it for the 5th time. I'm sitting here weeping. You know why? Because a man who was born on a farm, owns a Hollywood studio in Los Angeles now, produces for the big movie makers. He came to me a while back and he said, Chaplain Williams, I'd like to take my camera crews across America and tell the public what's happening to the American farmer. He said, I understand that you have the ability to get that message out. He said, we will spend whatever's necessary to do it. A few months later, he came back after I had done some narrating for them, and he had taken his camera crews all over the nation to the farms of this land. They went back to Hollywood, wrote their own musical score for it. He brought me the DVD and put it in my hand, and he said, I have but one request. And I said, what's that? He said, promise you'll never tell anybody who produced this for you. I said, why? He said, I'd lose too much business from the big studios if they knew I was telling this story. A man said to me, Lindsey, I'm watching it. I'm sitting here weeping. Tell the story while there's still food in the grocery stores. I beg of you, it's an hour and 5 minutes long. It's on my table. The message of the Energy NonCrisis, vaccinations, cell phones, 6 hours of viewing, 6 hours. Here's what I'm going to do. My son, he's back there somewhere. I can't see him for the lack of these lights up here, but my son's sitting back there. He's 12 years of age. He and I go together every place that I go, and Daniel knows I've never made this offer in a convention like this before. In fact, I didn't have room on the airplane to do it. As a result, I'm going to ship them to you. I would like to give you a copy of all 4 of my books. That's right, as a gift. I was only able to bring a certain number of one book. And by the way, we have a limited number over there because that's all I could put in my suitcases. And poor little Daniel, 12 years old, pulling this big heavy suitcase around the airport. I have to congratulate him. Anyway, the Energy NonCrisis was the book I brought. I will ship you the other 3 at my expense. I made this decision after I got here and saw the people and the quality of people and found out what Quest was. And I said, I've got to give them the information. And I want to give you copies of all 4 of my books as a gift. Secondly, if you'll purchase my 4 DVDs, I will give you 2 additional DVDs as a gift, and I want to explain only one of them. Some while back, a man in Minneapolis, Minnesota, by the name of John Bergen, very wealthy businessman, owns the largest nut importing firm in America. He called me on the phone and he said, Lindsey, you've got to interview this man. I said, who is he, John? John said, Lindsey, he worked for the international banks for a number of years. He knows all of the intricate details, their trusts, their banks, their inner workings, everything. He said, I've never heard anything like it. He said, Lindsey, would you interview him? I did. You'll never hear anything like it. Nobody else on the face of the earth has it, because shortly after the man gave me the interview, he went into hiding. I can't even find him myself today. There is a 1 hour and 5 minute DVD over there on my table that I want to give you as a gift. When you purchase my 4 DVDs, I want to give you 2 additional ones. One is an interview with an economic hitman who dared to tell me the story. You will be fascinated. They've done everything that this man said they were going to do. In fact, he predicted the plummet of the dollar back 4 to 5 years ago, and it's taking place exactly as he had heard them say it was going to happen. And he goes on further. You need it for your financial protection. I want to give it to you as a gift. I hope you'll drop by my display and let me help you, because I think it's time for us to do something. Looking for a job? Joe Smith started out the day early, having set his alarm clock, made in Japan, for 6 a.m. While with his coffee pot, made in China, was perking, he shaved with his electric razor, made in Hong Kong. He put on a dress shirt, made in Sri Lanka, designed jeans, made in Singapore, and tennis shoes, made in Korea. After cooking his breakfast in his new electric skillet, made in India, he sat down with his calculator, made in Mexico, to see how much he could spend today. After setting his watch, made in Taiwan, to a radio, made in India, he got in his car in his search for a good-paying American job. His car made in Germany. At the end of yet another discouraging and fruitless day, checking his calculator, made in Brazil, poured himself a glass of wine, made in France, and turned on his new TV, made in Indonesia, and then wondered why he couldn't find a good-paying job in America.